Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward. Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a daily coin analysis. Today I am going to be reviewing Solana or Sol. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Today I am going to be reviewing Sol. As I said, Solana is another ETH Killer and another blockchain. It's very prominently not headed but supported by SBF or Sam from FTX, and with Sam as a big supporter, this project along with Serum and FTT have been doing very, very well lately. So I might review those other coins in another video, but for now I'm just going to be reviewing Sol, and I will be doing the technical analysis here. So one thing to note with Solana is that, and this is the USD pair. The USD pair, I believe, is, yeah, okay, so it's not as old as the Bitcoin pair, but the USD pair had a very strong run in the summer, and this kind of caught the end of the summer run back in August. Before it had like a very big run. If you look earlier from June to late August, this skyrocketed basically, and the USD pair only caught the tail end of that. But what's very interesting about Solana is that it has been thriving the last several weeks, really just the last, I guess, 2 weeks, because in an environment where basically many other altcoins have not thrived and not done very well. And you can basically see this parabolic run from about $6 or $7 all the way up to 18, and even lower too if you bought this thing back in January. And you can see an accumulation period here, and we'll go more into that in a bit. But basically, price skyrocketed. This could have been the blow off top right here. I mean, this is a very ugly down candle, but okay, so let's get to it. This is just the USDT pair on Binance. This former swing high, this was the high back in the end of the decentralized finance run in the fall, and everything basically pulled back huge. And basically price pulled back from $5 all the way down to its low point around $1. So even something as bullish as Solana and the other DeFi coins, I mean, this is a good example here of how altcoins can really retrace very hard and very fast. I mean, overall, look here. I mean, this was, okay, so this was like a 3 or 4 month span right here, where price basically went negative 80% on your investment if you bought around August. And I mean, that's just devastating for a lot of investors. And this is basically what happened all throughout the fall of 2020. And it also shows that no matter how strong something looks, like Solana did back in the summer of 2020, where decentralized finance really skyrocketed, it still really retraced very strongly. And the BTC pair is going to show a bigger retracement as well. So basically, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say that always take profits, and definitely don't bag hold, because your bag holding coins can basically sit around for a long time. Solana did really well actually for a lot of reasons. I mean, number one, it has good fundamental analysis, or good fundamentals, and it has one of the biggest players in crypto backing it. So that alone is going to give it a big head start compared to some of these other pump and dump coins. And secondly, I mean, this one had a good recent history of pumping back in the summer of 2020, so that also helps it as well. It's not one of those old dinosaur coins that are pretty associated with pump and dumps. So from a technical analysis standpoint, we can see price forming a support here, and then it flips to resistance. And this basically was a long accumulation period right here. So basically from around November to January, this was just an accumulation period. And again, I have a video on accumulation, check it out. Accumulation is basically just a consolidating range where price is just pinballing back and forth. You can see price form this range initially back in November. And again, I talk about trading the trending coins. That doesn't necessarily mean chasing every pump, but when you see coins accumulating here, it's not bad to have your money in these types of coins because they're going to move very hard once they start moving. However, I prefer trading the trending coins when they actually start making their first move. So like right around here is when I would like start to hop in. I mean, I missed this first big pump, of course, but I prefer just starting to trade the trending coins just because I think that there's better opportunity. Investing in a coin like this is not a bad thing, but just understand that the opportunity cost of having your money locked up in these types of trades, there is a cost to that compared to trading the trending coins. But you know, you will catch every little bit of this move when you do invest in a coin like this. Just understand that depending on the coin, sometimes these coins can really accumulate a really long time. But in general, this was an accumulation period for Solana from $1 to $2.50. And then it kind of moved up again, and then it hit another kind of accumulation period again after this move. And then it really started to skyrocket. So February is about the time when many other altcoins started to pull back, and this one is the opposite. This one basically tripled in price, and almost quadrupled. Well, no, I'm sorry, just tripled. And it really is very strong. I mean, basically every dip got bought up, and whether or not this is due to BNB doing very well, I mean, BNB did well because of Binance Smart Chain. Maybe just all the exchange tokens were doing well as well. But I'm sorry, Solana is not an exchange token. But I mean, by association, Solana is associated with FTT and SAM. So generally speaking, you know, those types of projects are all correlated. And that kind of also reminds me too, I talk about this a lot in other videos, but coins always move in terms of classes and groups. And it's either an association by fundamental analysis, meaning these coins have similar technology, or they have similar relationships, or they have similar market cycles. So another one would be like Sushi and Uni or Uniswap. Like those two, like both pumped together, and like 1inch eventually too. Like those all had like pretty similar market cycles. And another one's like majors like LTC and Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash. That's like another kind of group that moves together. And like, you know, there's all sorts of groups that move together. Like SNX and Aave, those two really pumped really strongly in January. And now they have the same kind of market cycle, and same with Alpha. So again, you have to find the coins that are moving together, and you can usually have a lot of trade opportunities from that. So anyways, for Solana, from a technical analysis standpoint, basically every single dip got bought up. I mean, you can basically see here, really just resistance, come back, support, move back up. And now right now, it is somewhat concerning to see this big of a red candle. So it wouldn't surprise me to see a bit longer of a prolonged pullback. And you can kind of see a little more sell volume coming in as well as recent sell volume dominating. Part of that could be because Bitcoin has been stalling out, but in general, Solana was fairly immune to the current market conditions of Bitcoin being very volatile and choppy. But what these current candles tell me personally, along with this heavy sell volume, is just that I wouldn't be surprised if Solana has a little bit more of a steeper pullback. 1180 would be an interesting area of for entry. It would be, I expect a reaction around here, and after that, somewhere around 975 would be interesting as well. And if we pull out the fibs, I mean, we can use this as the last area. So like you can already see here, this lines up perfectly with this 0.618. So 1157 and 9 kind of $10-ish would be kind of where the areas of interest of where I'm bidding. And this also has confluence with the 200 EMA on the 4-hour. So again, you can use a lot of different ways to trade. I mean, whenever you're trading price action, if you're using indicators, if you're using Fibonacci retracement, there's a lot of different ways you can trade and use entries. But this is kind of where I would look personally. These are the two areas of interest for me. But overall, I mean, it's still like a really bullish trend for Solana. I mean, look at the trend overall. Like it's still big, but I mean, having a pullback is fine. I mean, this is gonna eventually hit like some sort of lower high or higher low, and then I expect to move up, and then there will be a reaction around here. There will be like a good short opportunity for, depending on how price gets there, and then we'll see the reaction from there. But overall, it's still like a bullish situation. Solana BTC, again, this pair was had a bit more price history than the USD pair. I mean, this in general, look how much it skyrocketed from June all the way up, 600%, incredible run, and another incredible run when you saw price basically go from the top of the wick all the way bottom. Again, good example to see your shit coins go to the abyss when market conditions go bad. I mean, even a coin as strong as Solana, from September to the end of December, negative 90%. You lose 90% of your investment just by holding if you bought at the top. Now, I mean, everyone's been a top buyer before in the past. I have been, like I'm sure everyone else is. If they're saying they haven't, they're lying. But this just, again, shows that everything pulls back, and especially altcoins. And I would not be surprised at all to see big pullbacks from altcoins eventually. I mean, I personally think there's going to be another run in March or April, but after that, I would not be surprised to see some blood. And this was right here. I marked this. This was a 50 to 200 day EMA cross. Usually this is like a pretty bullish indication. And this doesn't have like super long price history in general. But one other hint for when looking at charts for Solana, if you look at the USD pair, this is in price discovery, meaning there's no previous resistance areas to the left, right? So how do you figure out where are good stalling points? That's when you look to the BTC chart when there is price history to the left right here. I mean, you can see this right here. So a good way of doing it is basically looking at resistance areas on the chart that there is price history, like here. This was like a pretty predictable area in general, and if you see price kind of creeping up to this area on the BTC chart, you can probably expect that this is going to have a resistance area and probably make a profitable shorting opportunity. So that's kind of my advice to you, is to look at one pair, and if they're both in price discovery, then that's just it. You're gonna have to use other stuff like fib extensions and what have you. But in general, I mean, this had a violent pullback, but I mean, it's just still like very high time frame bullish. What I would like to see basically is for price to basically form some sort of consolidation and then move up. You know, kind of similar to something like this in the past. So, I mean, these types of consolidations are pretty healthy. Like you saw it again, like right here, and it was like a pretty similar area too. So consolidations like this are healthy, and it wouldn't surprise me to see more consolidation. But short term, I'm bearish on low time frame charts. But if you're looking at high time frame charts, I'm still bullish on Solana. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video on Solana. I'm still bullish in general. It's impressive to see this move in the overall market conditions. But if Bitcoin pulls back big, I would not be surprised to see this also pull back. So good luck.